They have not converted it from normal writing to technology, touch. I don't know if they heard me.
Okay, am I supposed to answer? Should I go ahead?
Yes, please.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, please.
This is a good time for you to make that transitioning from analog to digital. And the benefits are actually so enormous. Like the benefits outweighs the disadvantage of doing so, right? One of the speakers talked about, managing your admin remotely. You would be able to effectively do that if you have a digital system in place. Because when you have a software managing your finance, what it means is that you can have access to what the person is doing at every point in time. You can see your performance on real-time basis. So you don't need to wait till the end of the month to see how you are performing. But at a click, you can see your performance. You can see the amount you've spent. You can see the amount you've generated as income. So this is the best time for you to transition to digital. And there are a lot of software that can help you achieve that.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. As I said, it was necessary for us to fit in the audience, and that's why I introduced that question. Thank you so much. So we're going to call on the last speaker now, and she's one of us. She's also from the Robin Minds group, and she will be talking to us about staying positive in this period. You see, Irene is very, very passionate about this, and I'm sure you'll agree with me by the time you listen to her that she knows her onions and she will definitely bless. She is the proprietress or the director of Crestville Academy, and she's also an author. She's an author. She's the founder of Crestville Development Foundation. She's an alumnus of Abia State University and Pan Atlantic University. Irene is a girl and women advocate. You will find out more from her when she
working while it's charging.
3 books, Limitless, Unstoppable, and the workbook on goal setting and tracking. Without much ado, without further ado, I'd like to just hand over to Irene. Irene will be done in about 10 or
and I need her to achieve something.
Irene will be done and then we'll round up. All right. So thank you, Irene. Over to you, Irene. No, that's not Irene.
Can you hear me?
No.
Yes, we can. Oh, I can. Can you hear me? Okay, you can hear me. Yeah. Okay, everyone can hear me. I will start by saying, give yourself a round of applause. I want to see you clapping for yourself. It's not every time school owners are never celebrated. They see us as people who pack and collect school fees. So clap for yourselves, clap for yourselves. If you see my slide, can you go to the second slide? Thank you, I'm hearing it now, yes. Give yourself some credit, I started from that. Give yourself some credit. You're doing a job that government cannot do. Government has not been able to run, I hope they are not on this webinar. Government has not been able to run schools successfully. They've not been able to run schools successfully with the resources, the financial resources, the human resources they have. And we are doing this as individuals. Some people have to take loan from the bank, and we're doing it, albeit we're doing it very well. So clap for yourself again. You're doing something government cannot do. That is a very good thing. It's an award I'm giving you this afternoon, because I can tell you, at least, they don't celebrate us. Have you seen where they give us awards? They don't, but we're complimenting their efforts. So, staying positive in this pandemic. This pandemic didn't give us a memo. I don't know if you got the memo. I personally, Irene, I didn't get the memo. But it came. And like I have researched, pandemics don't give memo. They don't give notice. They just come. And it just shows, like I keep saying, the chicken has come home to roast. For the countries who have really prepared, who are good at planning, you can see, at least, you can see the planning coming out right now. You can see their mitigation, you can see their palliatives, and so on. But for us here in Nigeria, we can't say the same. You know, so this is a period where everyone is we're asking ourselves what really happened, you know. But like I said, my first is, like I said, it's okay not to understand everything. It's okay not to understand everything. Can you see me? Are you guys seeing me?
Yes, we can see you.
Okay.
We can see you.
Okay. Okay. So I said it's okay not to understand everything. One is because that particular statement, I took a cue from it from, you know, my dad. You know, when I was a teenager, I have an over-analytical mind, and I still do. But again, my father used to tell me then, because I always wanted to construct meaning to everything. So much so that when anything happened, I may end up not sleeping because I wanted to construct a meaning to why. For instance, the Abiola saga, when Abiola, they had Abacha Abiola, you know, the election period in 1993. I remember as a little child, I kept thinking to understand. Imagine, I think I was probably 14, 15 years then, you know, and so on. You know, so it was from one of those life lessons I wrote in my book, Limitless, which you might not be seeing right now, but I forgot to give it up to her, but I put it as one of my life lessons. It's okay not to understand everything. And my father told me that, and I have run with it over the years, because if I was still the same person some 20 years back, I wouldn't be speaking to you today. I would be in the hospital, because I would have really wanted to make sense of this pandemic. And then giving technology, you know, accessibility to technology, I would have been on overdrive, trying to get why the pandemic. So it's okay for you not to understand everything as educators, as school owners. You might not be able to make sense of everything going on right now. Please, it's okay. Whatever you can make sense of, just make do with that. Don't go on overdrive, you know. And I said, don't believe everything your mind tells you, whatever you think. Don't believe everything you're thinking. Now, there's a way our brain works. You know, if you have studied the brain a little, the brain works, you know, because you're in a certain environment. A lot of times the brain takes a cue from that environment. The brain right now, especially in our kind of society, the brain is working towards survival. You know, so if your brain is working that way, you're thinking, the brain throws up every negativity. It's trying to make you think that your school is packed up. It's trying to make you think that, oh, you have lost all your students. You know what I mean? Before we could go to school, at least, even if you're not the type that goes to school every day, 3 times a week you'll be in your school, or you're seeing them, at least you know you have a school. So sometimes the brain is telling you don't really have a school anymore. You don't really have pupils and things like that. So don't believe everything your brain tells you. You need to control your mind. We know that success starts from the mind. Success or failure, whichever device, you know, it starts from the mind, how you think. Even the Bible says it, the way a man thinks, so is he. So the way you are thinking will determine your outcome post-COVID. So control your mind, control what you're thinking. Get rid of fear. Fear, F-E-A-R. We say fear, false evidence appearing real. You know, false evidence telling you, throwing up a lot of negativity to you. And like I keep saying, we have learned everything to keep us alive in this pandemic. Wash your hands, social distancing, use alcohol-based sanitizers, and so on. Then what does it mean? There are some news you don't even need. If you go on CNN and you're hearing all the negative news, I mean, at some point you need to cut it off, because this false evidence will keep appearing real to you. After a while, it becomes your reality. You know, because what you're thinking becomes what you focus on magnifies. So if you're focusing on negativity, if you're focusing on you don't have a school anymore, if you're focusing on all my students have left, and you know, when you're doing online policing, you know, you go online like us using Google Classroom, you're not seeing the children sometimes, you're calling your friends like, oh, have they all disappeared? Can I tell you something? You need to control how the mind wanders, but it is you that have the control to bring the mind back. You have to shape it back, shape your thoughts back. Now, we are at the same, you know, you look at the bright side. I have run a school for 6 years, going to 7 years. Some of you might be, I know some are longer, some are shorter. But do you know that this is the first time I'm taking a leave from school? I don't know about you. This is the first time I'm taking a leave. You know, I've been an unpaid leave, yes, but this is the first time. You know, even when I have to travel, I'm with my phone, I have to look for SIM card, whichever country I'm trying to. So what is happening? The school bus driver, has he shown up? You see them calling you, sending message, and the bus attendant did not appear, you know, things like that. Look at the bright side. This is the first time you, a school owner, you are sleeping and waking up without school bus driver calling, madam, the school bus broke at Wuse2 or something, or the bus attendant is not did not carry the child well, or the parents in the communication book, my child brought back the food unattended to, what happened? Or the baby did this, they forgot the bag, the shoe. Are you saying that your force were given a holiday for the very first time? I don't know about you, but it's kind of a holiday. Yes, it's a pandemic holiday, but at least look at the bright side that you're not encumbered with all those things for now. For now, I know we have other encumbrances. Now you also have to, we are in the same ship. If this will just make you feel okay, I want you to know that you're not alone. I know that a lot of people, I called a friend 2 weeks ago, I shared it in my Monday inspiration. She was actually palpitating. She said she's not even a school owner, you know, but she's into event management. And she said she kept thinking what will happen. Of course, mass gathering will be the last stage of the lockdown procedure. And then she said she was palpitating to the point they had to give her drugs to take, you know. And I told her, see, look at it. You are not the only one in the same ship. We are all in this ship together. Now, even the world powers, you know, US, UK, that have better systems and so on, they are also as confused as we are, or maybe confused than them. But the point is that you're not the only one. That, you know, that your rent, a lot of other people's rents are running too, you know. So you're not alone. You're all together. I know after Dr. Gudere started, and you know, and all that, some of us might not have gotten to that level of online classroom. You might feel, wow, all these people listening to these 80 participants, they have all got it covered. Sister, we don't all have it covered. We are all work in progress, whichever level you are in, but just know you're not alone. If it's WhatsApp class you're still doing, can I tell you that you are doing something? Now, even if you're not doing WhatsApp class, you're calling your parents and then try. The point is this, try and make progress from where you are. But if you think you're alone, you're not alone, you know. The other one I'll talk about is communication. How are you communicating? So Dr. Gudere took it out from me. Now I put communication in different, you know, the stakeholders. How you communicating? For you to look at the bright side, for you to be in the stay positive, you need to communicate. You need to have continuous engagement. You need to have continuous conversation with all the stakeholders, starting from the parents. How effective are you communicating? The pupils themselves. Last week, or this week rather, on Wednesday, we held a Zoom assembly for our pupils. I can't tell you what positivity that brought to my life. I mean, just seeing them, I had to even tell them to wear their school uniform. And you see them all with their uniform, with their ties, you know, looking so dapper. I mean, it was positivity. So you need to look for what will make you positive. You need to call up your students. You need to have them in groups of 10. Hello, Mrs. Irene, how are you? How are you? You know, because you need to find a way. You must look for a silver lining in what you're going through. And I cannot give you a tailor-made one. You need to look out for what is the silver lining in your situation. Is it calling up before? Is it chatting? Can you have a mother WhatsApp group that you shut down immediately? Just call it Mothers Hangout today for our mothers. Those things give you positivity, telling you that all hope is not lost, telling you that after this pandemic, you still have a school. Because for some people, the fear is they still have a school. Nature, you need to also call, before I go to nature, you need to call, of course, we have spent so much time on that, your parents, your teachers, your friends, their collaboration. Do you call your friends? I put up something a while ago. I said some friendship will die naturally this period. Then you now know who are your friends. Your friends are those ones that will call you now and say, Irene, how are you doing? Diola, how are you doing? You know, spend 5-10 minutes of their credit on you. Those are your friends. You know, so communication needs to be continuous for you to stay positive in this season. Nature above vacuum. You know, you need alternatives and relevance. You know, we have been used to waking up so early, going to school, you know, staying in school, attending to all those things. And now you have more time on your hands. What are you doing with that time? You know, before now, I used to tell school owners that we need to have alternative sources of income. You know, I was sounding almost like a broken record, but you can see right now that we need to have it. If you don't have it, you need to start. Now, let's even assume this pandemic persists, and then online schools, okay, they were talking about people paying 50%. Some schools have not even started charging for the online school at all. And they're giving our money, to their teachers for data and so on, and so many other things. So school owners, how do we sustain ourselves? You know, you need to have alternative sources of income, and it's something you need to start thinking of now, and you start working. I don't believe in just thinking, you start working on it. What do I mean? Now, I don't know what your area of expertise is, but even before you started school, you were doing something, or even if school is the first thing you did, you need to think about yourself. What else can I do? What else can I do to generate income? For me, I write books. I have my books, Unstoppable and Limitless. If you're seeing me right now, you can get them after now, you know. And I sit down 3 days ago, you know, a particular location, 9 people bought this book, you know, and all that. So these things are so important for you to be positive. Now you say, okay, Irene, how do I start? Okay, start by writing, start by going online to take courses, you know. And I keep saying that everybody must write a book. Yes, quote me anywhere. You must write at least 1 book in your lifetime. Don't think that this book writing is for some people. No, no, no. See, for you to run a school for 5 years, do you know the years of experience you have put into that school that will bless somebody as a book, whether an e-book or a hard copy? So you need to write a book. In fact, you have the time to write a book right now. But beyond writing a book is that you need to look for other ways to generate money. Think of so many other things. I don't know them, and I'm not going to promote anyone. But there are so many things happening online, you know, that with little income you put in, you can start making money. I'm not talking of a Ponzi scheme, not at all. Nature aborts vacuum. You know, your relevance, your staying positive is directly proportional to the relevance you're creating. And at least I can speak for myself. Now, if I'm not relevant doing anything, you know, I become down. I become almost frustrated. So, what relevance are you creating? I'm so angry with us educators. The Ministry of Education and everybody are doing things without us being carried as you know, stakeholders in this. You know, I have not seen them call us. I have not seen them, you know, and you see that it's because we have not even put up our brand out there. Do you know how much work we are doing for the school? Do you know for the nation? We are complementing what the government has not successfully done, and we're not blowing our trumpets about it. Now, I told someone that whenever there is a pandemic or there's a problem in the financial sector, you will see channels. They will call Bismarck Rwani. I'm sure all of you know him, financial derivative man. If there's a problem in the health sector, they call one doctor something to come there. Now there's a pandemic in the education sector. I haven't seen them, channels and calling core educators. I'm not talking of Minister of Education. They are not calling us private school owners. They're not calling us to sit down. And I'm looking forward to that, where our brand will be so developed, our online presence will be so strong that before government decides things of taking a decision in the education sector, we are the first people, the go-to person to call. And you can't achieve that if you're not creating relevance, if you're not building your brand online, because that is part of how to stay positive, that you are talking about what people do. I was telling Ngozi Alichi that now every sector is asking for palliative. Palliative. They keep saying it. Have we asked for our own palliative? Have you come out? But the more we all come out, I dare you, every school owner, 70-something participants there, when you're through with this, can you go online, Twitter, and so on?
We can't hear you. Can anyone hear her? Can we hear her? Unmute everyone so they can tell me if they can hear her.
Posting something. Irene, you have time. But let me tell you, if the responsibility of educating the children rests on our shoulders, then we must be writing, we must be tweeting, we must be sending our messages out there. That is part of ways of being helpful. When you begin to do that, you're already a brand. You're a brand to be aligned with. I was just sitting down the other day, they called me, Irene, please come and join us at Canada Aid and Action Aid are doing online research for how COVID-19 is impacting on girls and women. And I was like, where did they meet me? Where did they see me?
That's interesting, Irene.
It's all the things I bring out, you know. So you said you're not hearing me.
No, that's interesting.
Okay.
I'm just we're looking at the time now.
Yes. So I kept wondering, and they told me, someone said, I don't even know her. She said, we saw the article you wrote on Girl Child, the impact of Girl Child and COVID-19. And they read it on one WhatsApp platform I don't even know about. And that was how they called me. And now we're doing the research, and I'll be paid for it. What am I saying? Our relevance, we have a lot of relevance, but we're not writing.
We really do have a lot of relevance, and we all as educators need to take note of that. That's really very important, Irene. I'm sorry, I'll need to just cut you off now so that we can take questions. I mean, it's very important.
I'm done. Two kinds of people we emerge from. Okay, let me just say the last point.
Okay, thank you.
Two kinds of people who emerge from COVID-19. It's either the people that are watching Netflix and only home videos, or the people who have used this period to develop themselves, created good online presence, and then are also an authority to go for. And every educator should strive to be an authority in this industry we have found ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. I'm sorry, Irene, that I get to signal, but Irene is one of us. She's from within, and we've been rubbing minds on this. Yeah, but because we need to make sure that our participants are with us till the end, and that is why we have some questions. I have reposted and recopied some questions into the chat box. And particularly, the first one I would like to take. Dr. Ogundere, are you still there? I sent it to you privately, and I would like you to answer the question if you're still there. Someone asked the question and said, how do we get our parents to buy in? Or rather, I rephrased her question. These are her question, because I noticed that we had answered, she had mentioned that something along that line. But to give that benefit, the person the benefit of an answer, I rephrase it, and the question now says, how do we get parents to buy into the vision of a tech-key school, if there is anything like that? Because if you had positioned if you started your school and gradually, you know, parents, and I know that a few parents are also listening to us this afternoon, parents always usually think that school owners are out there. Some parents, let me be fair, some parents think that school owners are there to ask for school fees. And then each year, because we have already said here that technology requires investment. So the first thing